All right, welcome to the Vegan Bikini Prep Diaries. I am Miss Meatless Muscle. You guys might know me as Brooke, and I'm here with one of my absolute best friends, Belinda.
Episode number 1. This is Belinda. My Instagram handle is Vegan Body by Belinda, and we're going to do this thing. So
Yeah,
let's go.
yes, everything bodybuilding, vegan bodybuilding, and food, fitness, workouts. We're going to be sharing our journey to the stage. We're both in prep. So we're just going to kind of get on every week and shoot the shit. We do this anyways. We text each other all the time and give each other updates. So we just figured why not record it and put it out there for you guys so you guys could follow along. Prep's always fun. There's always fun, exciting things going on. So we're going to update you guys every week.
That's right. So Brooke and I text all day, every day, all of our silly prep things. And there's so many gems have crossed between us over the past few years that it just made sense to start a podcast and actually put this out there, because vegan bikini bodybuilding is a unique niche world and it doesn't seem to have a podcast yet. So let's do it. So
Yeah.
why don't we introduce ourselves a little bit for those that don't know us so well, or maybe only follow you or follow me, or just finding us for the first time. So why don't you go, Brooke?
Yeah. So my alias is Miss Meatless Muscle. That's what people mostly know me by. I started my account back in 2020, and I've been vegan for about 8 years. So when I started my account, I was really focused on promoting just my lifestyle and what I was doing. People were I had gotten in really good shape. I had achieved a really big transformation myself, and all these people were asking how I did it. And so I decided to show people how to do it as a vegan, and it just ended up working out really well for me. My business, I started coaching in 2020 as well. My business took off, and I quit my full-time job. And so I'm a full-time content creator, coach, full-time business coach as well. So I also have a cookbook. I just released my first cookbook this year with over 70 high protein vegan recipes. And as far as competing, I just started competing in 2022. So not very long at all. This will be my third show that I'm getting ready for here. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome. So I have a similar story to Brooke. And sidebar for those that get to know us, we're both Aquarius, and we find that we are very, very similar. So sorry if a lot of this is just a complete regurgitation over what Brooke just said. So I have a very similar story. I've been vegan about 10 years. I was vegan twice before that, but failed. I had to start over again. And I was getting into really good shape. I was learning about vegan sports nutrition, which is a whole other element of veganism that we, as you and I both know, requires a bit more detail. So I started to get into that. And then once I got into that, my look and my whole persona really started to transform. And I was posting my fitness journey stuff on my personal Instagram, which only my friends and family followed. And I think it was 2021 or 2020. I can't remember which year. I'd have to go back. But my husband said to me, well, he was just my boyfriend at the time, why are you posting all of this on a private Instagram that like 50 people see? You need to put this online. You would inspire people. You need to get out there. So I created a fitness Instagram just like Brooke around the same time. And I started posting my stuff, and I was posting my lifts and things that I did and putting a little bit of effort into it. And I started coaching people around the same time, same situation as Brooke. People were asking me for help. So it turned into a coaching business. I did coach for 4 or 5 years, I think. I did fold my coaching business last year because life just got to be a bit too much and I needed to take a step back. What else about me? I work full-time in the fashion industry, worked in the fashion industry for over 20 years. and I have a full-time job. So I juggle my bodybuilding hobby with my real life outside of bodybuilding. And yeah, that's my story. So I think the next thing we wanted to talk about was how we met, because we think it's really cute. So we wanted to share that with you guys. Same timeline again. First competition season in the NPC for both of us
Yep.
was in 2020 and
2022, right?
2022.
Yeah.
And the algorithm showed me some other vegan bikini competitors that I still chat with, quite a few of them to this day, but Brooke was one of them. And so I think I DM'd you or something and was like, hey, I'm vegan too. We're both in contest prep. And we started chatting, right? That's how our friendship started.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you commented on my post and you said something like, oh my gosh, you're vegan too and you're in bikini. Um, and I'm pretty sure you were like, can you message me? I'm going to DM you. And then we just started, yeah, we were talking about what we were eating and,
Definitely, for sure.
just all of it. Yeah. But you're right. It's like, it's just such a small world, like, let
Very small.
alone like bodybuilding on its own is a small world, and then vegans, that's a small world, and then you put them both together and it's just this very tiny sliver of like a Venn diagram. And so it was just nice that we could connect, because I had people who were competing, but it is just different when
It is.
you have someone who's vegan too, you know.
Definitely. And we will definitely do an episode about what is different about vegan bodybuilding, bikini bodybuilding versus non-vegan, because there are some differences that her and I are very aware of. But it was cool to chat about like what we were eating and what we were doing. And then as time went on, my coaching business was growing. And like you said, we were a full-time coach. And so I reached out for some coaching mentorship, and you gave me some mentor calls, which were so, so helpful. And we became friends, and we've been friends ever since. And we've been online besties for 2 or 3 years now, I think. Time
Yeah.
flies.
Yeah, and we also had very similar experiences our first prep, which I think
That's right.
brought us closer, because we both were destroyed by our coaches and we had really, really hard preps.
That's right.
And we just went through a lot post show. And, not everybody experiences that either. So we just have so much in common. And we just had that same, like, first time competitor unknowingly hire someone who may or may not know what they're doing, bust their ass, gets to the stage, but it's questionable, how healthy it was, right? Yeah. So
Definitely. And for anybody that's listening to this that has never competed before and is maybe interested in competing or is just curious, I think Brooke and I are in agreement here that bodybuilding is not a health-driven sport. It is healthy a majority of the year, because bodybuilding has two parts to it. So the first part is your building season, your off season, your improvement season. It has a few different words that get thrown around, where you're eating usually in a slight calorie surplus, you're not doing too much cardio, and you're lifting heavy, training, and you're building muscle. And I would consider that, for the most part, for bikini athletes, to be more or less healthy, I would say, depending
yes,
on
definitely.
what you decide to do, of course. But so half of it is pretty healthy. And then the other half of the sport is, of course, the contest prep, which more or less is a diet, which more or less is a cutting phase, is a shred, is an extreme calorie deficit, extreme protocol to get a look for stage. And it usually takes most women 5 or 6 months. And it's probably on the healthier side. You would agree, maybe the first 2 months or
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
And then the final 2-ish months are usually not healthy. And it's not, for our people that are listening, it's only for a look. That is the reason you do it. That's the reason you cut fat down that low, to get a certain look. So That's what the sport is. Anyway, all of that being said, we bonded a lot over all of the things that we learned. And then, of course, we were both coaches. You're still a coach, and just talking and getting to know each other. And now we're both in prep again together. Which is exciting because last year I did compete, and Brooke was my great supporter throughout my whole contest prep, which was actually a 6-month prep. It really was, because I started January of 2024 and I didn't compete till July. So it was a 6 or 7 monther that I was in prep. Anyway, and you were along for the ride the whole time in your off season, improving your health, working on your health and all of that good stuff. And now here we are in 2025, both in prep. We're a few months apart, maybe. We're going to talk about that now. So what we're thinking for this podcast is most of the episodes will be like 30-ish minutes, perfect for cardio. So we're trying to time it perfectly for cardio times. So what we're thinking about doing is every episode give our prep updates and what's going on with us. These are the type of things we talk about in our text messages anyway. And even today, I wanted to tell you a few different things, but I just saved it because I was zip it because we need things to talk about on the podcast. So we'll do our prep updates, which are a bit nerdy, but that's why everybody's here. And we'll talk about it. So who wants to go first? Do you want to go first? You want to talk about what's going on with your prep? Where are you in the process? And then I'll go.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm not married to a show. I haven't indefinitely decided on anything. So I've had people ask me, but truthfully, I'm not sure. I don't know when I'll be ready. My coach is telling me 10 weeks. I don't feel like I'm going to be ready in 10 weeks, but he said that's how I'm supposed to feel at 10 weeks. So
okay, let's do the math. Let's do the math. Sorry. 10 weeks. So we're in the middle of April.
June 20th, right? I think it's
okay. So towards the end of June. Okay.
Yes. So I don't know. We'll see, but I'm definitely between, I would say 10 to 12 weeks. I feel like I'm there. I'm in it now. I get a drop and then I get stuck, and then I get a drop and I get stuck. So right now I'm stuck.
That's prep, baby.
That's prep.
Yeah.
But I swear I'm looking different every day. I've like every day I wake up and I'm just like, this is going to be the day. I look so much better. And then I weigh the same and I'm like, okay, something's got to give here eventually. So I feel like the scales just may be lagging because of inflammation. I have a rest day tomorrow, so we'll see. And David did just update my macros, so I started that today. So I'm at 35 minutes fasted cardio in the morning. I typically either do the elliptical or I run. I shouldn't say run. It's a very slow jog. I'm doing a 17-minute mile.
You're scooting along. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cause I bring my dog with me and we run around the park, but I get my heart rate pretty high doing that. Just, how running is, it's high impact. It's hard to recover from, so I'll rotate. And then I have 20 minutes, post workout, and I'm doing incline tread and 14,000 steps. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So I've already got a lot.
Okay. So is your coach, so every coach does this a bit differently. Are your steps included in your cardio, or is your cardio separate from the steps? Because every coach does it differently. So how do you do that?
I'm blessed right now. It's included. So whatever I accomplish in the 55 minutes that I'm doing cardio, it counts. So it's honestly really not that hard to get to 14K. I just have to add an extra 10 minutes to my walk with Chief at night, which is not a big deal. The weather's so nice now. So it really is not that bad yet. I'm holding in there, and
so that's pretty much an hour a day, give or take.
It's 55 minutes. Yeah. Almost an hour. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you, I can't remember. When did what did the cardio start at the beginning of your prep? And let's say you started prep in February or March. March.
March, I would say maybe, I mean, really
Well, March,
since
maybe
February, but I had a hard time
after.
dialing it in February.
Yeah. So sidebar, we went to the Arnold's together, Arnold's weekend. We finally met in person after pen paling for so long, and we had such a good time. It was so fun. And we did eat some restaurant meals when we were there. So we
Yes.
were both in prep, but early prep, and we took a little bit of a sidebar. If we were in prep for the Olympia, we would have never done that. But we are generally, we're, at that point, 20 something weeks out from competing.
Yeah.
And we're celebrating us being together. And we walked so much anyway that weekend that
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think it
I
really
didn't gain a
made,
pound. Yeah.
it didn't make a big dent. Not saying though that you should eat restaurant meals when you're in prep. I'm just saying that we made a bit of an exception for our little girls weekend that we went on. But okay, so you started prep February, March, and what was the cardio when you started?
So I will say this, and you know this, I kind of shot myself in the foot. I was already doing 30 minutes of cardio prior to starting prep. But
I had the same twin situation, but we'll go into me in a second. But so 30 minutes,
yeah,
how many times a week?
I was doing 30 minutes, probably 6 days a week. And probably even 7 some days, because mostly like it's like if me and my boyfriend work out together, I usually finish before him, and then I would just do cardio until he was done. Like it wasn't like I was intentionally
Yeah.
trying to do 30. It's just that's how it worked out. Or like, I don't know, sometimes I just work. I'm like, better for
Yeah.
me to work on the elliptical than on my ass at home. So, I was
I
already
hear you.
just doing a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
so then David just switched it to, okay, well, let's introduce some fasted cardio. So that's where he introduced, like we started at 20 minutes, and then he would bump me to 25, and then 30, and then now I'm at 35.
Okay. Got it. Got it. It's not that bad yet. Um,
Right.
I have a feeling he's going to turn up the heat in due time. Uh, so
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And I just feel like that's how it's going to be, because my last prep, and I did tell him this. I did tell him this week, because he dropped my food and he was like, sorry your food's so low this far out, but it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, look, I was expecting it. My last preps were brutal. I know what it takes for me to get lean, and it's a lot. It's a lot of suffering. And he's like, no, well, that's how you prepped last time. There's not going to be any suffering. I promise. I have a lot of things that we can implement, things that we can do, introduce refeeds, things like that. And it all sounds great, but I'm just like, I'm skeptical. Like, I don't know. I know my body, and it's
I
just,
hear
it,
you.
it takes a lot. So I will not be surprised if I'm at an hour and a half of cardio come show day.
I've never had a prep where I've done less than 2 hours of cardio a day at the
I
end.
know.
At the end. It's not like that the whole time, but so my body does lean down at a pretty normal pace, but I get real stuck. Not stuck per se, but I really have to grind for the final 5 to 10-ish pounds, the final inch on my waist. It takes me an insane amount of cardio to just chop that off, really. That's how my body is at this moment in time. Every prep can be a bit different, but I've done 4 preps, I guess. And yeah, I require a lot of cardio at the end. I don't need that much in the beginning, but that end, I basically don't stop moving. And everybody's
Yeah.
body is different. So I hear you. Well, you'll see what he does, and
Yeah.
trust the process and trust your coach. And this prep is a bit of a learning experience too, because you did take 2 years
2
off
years
from
off. Yeah.
competing. Okay. So yeah, you're coming back after 2 years, and your body it might be a little different than it was last time.
I
I know
think
for
so.
me, my prep last year, you might remember, like I said earlier in our talk now, that it was a 6 or 7 month prep. Yeah, I was in prep a long time. It took my body a really long time. I had to lose about 20 pounds, and it took a long time. Brooke and I are different heights. Brooke is 5'8",
7.
5'7", and I'm a lot smaller, and I'm 5'3". So she has a different structure than me. I'm a lot tinier than Brooke. And I still had to lose 20 pounds my 2024 prep. And yeah, it took me 6 or 7 months, and it was long and tough. But this prep is different for me because I actually only had to lose 10ish to 15ish. Time will tell. But we'll talk about me in a second. But it's a different feeling when you have to lose a little bit less. But we'll go into that in a bit. But anyway, so I think you're on track. We can, if you want, we can plug in a thumbnail of what you look like in your check-ins if you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
also posting it on my Instagram, my channel, my little broadcast channel.
Yep. Yep.
I've been putting all my prep date updates in there. Like I do pretty much almost my full check-in with David. There's some things I exclude because I don't
Of
know. I don't
course.
think
Yeah.
anybody needs to know how many bowel movements I'm having. So,
I hear you.
or my
Yeah.
blood pressure. So
Sure.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I put my pictures there too. So,
Yeah.
anybody
Maybe
can check it out if they want.
if my editing skills get really great, I can figure out how to plug it in. But anyways, so how's your hunger?
I would say it's been pretty manageable. It's been pretty manageable. I'm not dying. I'm not starving. And but I will have moments and I just try to talk to myself and tell myself, okay, this is good that I'm hungry.
That's
This
right.
means I'm probably going to drop. I just need to fight it. If I fight it, I'm going to get what I want tomorrow. And every time I do that, I get a little reward. So I just am trying to get in that mindset. I need to stock up on cucumbers and stuff. But I would say it's been manageable. It's getting there, but I've been controlling it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your calories, again, Brooke is quite a bit taller and like bigger than me as a person. So she requires more food than I do. But it sounds like you're more or less at 1,800 calories
About that, yeah. About like
ish.
17 something, yeah.
Do you remember in your 2022 season how low your calories got?
Oh God. Probably 1,200 or 1,100. I mean,
Hmm.
like you wouldn't even believe my meal plan. It was insane. I had like a
I
little
I
cup
re-
of oats.
I remember it actually. I remember remember when you screenshotted it to me, and it wasn't a vegan plan, but you veganized it. You veganized it because it was just like a cookie cutter
Yeah.
bodybuilding prep plan, which is like chicken, rice, one
I didn't
cup
even have
of green
rice.
beans.
He wouldn't let me have rice. Rice
Oh,
was not allowed
Lord
because
have
it would
mercy.
hold me. It was hold me. So I didn't even have rice. My carbs were oats in the morning. I got 2 rice cakes before I trained, and I got 2 after I trained. And most days, that's what I had. He like I was on like hardly any carbs for so long.
Remind remind me, how long did that go on for? I can't remember.
God, I was in prep almost 25 weeks. I had 40 pounds to lose.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for the people that are listening to this that have never competed before, your first prep is always the hardest. It really is
Yes.
because it's so new and you have no idea what to expect. Now, there is a lot more information online now, for example, this podcast, versus what there was when Brooke and I started a few years ago. It was
Oh
like really
yeah.
wasn't much coming out. And over the past 3 or 4 years, there's been a lot of podcasts and informative YouTubes that have come out about bodybuilding prep. So that's great for newbies. But anyone that's listening that's ever curious about competing or thinking about it or whatever, your first prep is always the hardest because it's so new and you have no idea what to expect. And you don't like really know if it's correct or it's not, if the meal plan, like, is this normal? You don't know. Like And it's hard to say too, because honestly, not that coaches are perfect and without fault, but a coach does have experience in getting people stage lean. And when you're brand new to the sport, you don't know what it takes to get stage lean.
No.
And so even though our first preps were both pretty rough with not the most optimized coaching protocols, uh, we really learned how to get lean,
Yeah.
honestly. So like, even though it was not healthy by any means, even though we look back and we're a little mortified over like the things that we, that we went through, but we learned how to get lean. And it's all part of the journey. And I would say that my last prep, 2024, I worked with a really well-known coach, Paul Revelia of Pro Physique, and I really enjoyed being coached by him. We're of a very similar like mindset and mentality over the sport and prep protocol. And my prep was, as healthy as it could have been. It wasn't that healthy at the very end. I mean, my calories, my last prep with Paul, I think they ended around 1,000. That final two-ish weeks. The final 2-ish weeks, I was on basically no carbs, but only for 2 weeks. The rest of the time, I did have carbs like the whole time, but that final 2 weeks, we really just dropped the carbs. But a reason for that is that I at that point was like, okay, we need to decide a show. This is the show I want to do. Like, I want to do this one. So we made it happen. And I busted my butt, getting ready for it those final weeks. Could I have possibly done a healthier approach, but chose a show a bit farther out? Yes, I do think so. But because I was like, that is the show I'm going to do, then I was like, pedal to the metal. All right, I'm suffering. Like, here we go. And it was the right call, because you probably remember my life was getting like really hectic and busy, and I just like needed to get my show over with so I could move on. Anyway, so I'm excited for you. I think you're 10 to 12 weeks out. I really do. I see all your
Okay, good.
And prep goggles are a real thing. Like, when you see yourself every single day in the mirror, and you see yourself before a pump, after a pump, you see yourself fasted, you see yourself when you've had a little bit to eat, you've seen yourself after carbs, no carbs, you've seen yourself like a stressful day, not stressful day. It's like, no one knows your body better than you. But because of that, the way you see yourself as you're getting stage lean, it's called prep goggles, because you really can't see clearly. And when you sent me your update the other day, you were like, no changes. And I was like, your midsection and your face look like totally different. So
Yeah.
I saw the changes. And honestly, like, you do look 10 to 12 weeks out. I think if I was your coach, I would probably have you, keep doing what you're doing for a while. And probably at the 6-ish, 8-ish weeks out mark, he's going to make you kick it up a notch. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'll have to update on the next podcast how things are going, but it sounds like you're in a good spot for 10 to 12 weeks out. And I'm glad you're not too married to a show, because since this is like your first prep back, after a few years, like, give yourself some grace and just see when you're going to be ready.
Yeah, totally. That's the plan. I just want it to be all fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy the
Yeah,
show. Don't make it stressful. Luckily, I've started early enough in the year. I have the whole year to pick a show, but
totally.
I'm like you. I'm kind of ready to like get it out of the way. It's fun. I love the process. I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I do want to like do something else with the other half of my year, so.
One would think, yeah. So I know we don't have too much time left, so I'll make mine as quick as I can. So the difference between Brooke and I's prep is, Brooke is doing NPC bikini. I used to be NPC bikini, but they made an announcement at the end of last year, the end of 2024, of a new category called Fit Model, which more or less is a less muscular bikini look with different posing, but it is more or less very, very similar. Different posing, less muscular, and not as conditioned. And in the bodybuilding world, conditioned means your body fat levels. So you have a little bit more body fat in the Fit Model division. So I was going to take all of 2025 off and grow and eat and really make an effort to grow some glutes and some hamstrings, which are my weak parts. And I was going to do the thing. And then right at the end of the year, right when you finish making your calendar for the next year and you have all your goals set, then they made the announcement for the new category. And when I was listening to it, I think you might remember, I was like, oh my God, they're talking about me. Because in the video that Tyler Mannion, who's the head of our NPC organization, when he made the announcement, he did it in a video format. And I was like, oh my God, he's talking about me. So I think I have to do this. So more or less, I'm in Fit Model contest prep. I've been in prep since the beginning of January with a few breaks, which we can go into on another episode. But here's where I'm at. I'm really close, man. Like I think like you think I'm ready. And me with my prep goggles, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. And then another caveat to all of this, and Brooke is such a good friend because I'm self-coaching this year. So that's a whole other interesting thing, because the benefit of having a bodybuilding contest prep coach is that someone does the thinking for you. And once a week, you stand in front of the camera, you fill out your form, you check in, you send it in, you wait a day or two, and you get feedback with your macros or meal plan and your cardio and any other little things you need to know, and you get to work. Instead, when you're self-coached, you're like doing that yourself and making the decisions for yourself. And I've loved self-coaching, and we can obviously talk more about this in other episodes, but I've loved it so far. We'll see if I do it again. But anyway, regardless, I am coaching myself. I think I'm pretty much ready. My problem area is always my problem area, and that is my inner thighs around my glute hamstring tie-in. When you pinch my body, there's not much fat except in that one spot. You can pinch it and you can hold it, and it's fat. It's not water. It is fat. So all of that being said, I feel really close to being ready. I am very much considering competing in a week and a half at Girl Power in Orlando. The signups end on Saturday, end of day. So my plan is to put a tan on Thursday night and do a check-in with myself on Friday and see how I feel and if I'm ready to rock and roll. I haven't told Brooke this. I wanted to tell her this morning, but I knew we had the podcast, so I saved it for the podcast. I forgot to do the math, and I might be getting my period next weekend. Yeah. So,
well,
that being said, I had my period last month somehow, despite the fact I'm very lean and almost 40, and I'm quite surprised that I got my period last month. I don't think I'm going to get it next week, because I don't think biologically like it is possible with my low level of body fat at this time. But I might still get all of the symptoms, and that, to anybody that has never competed before, that's a fun part of being in contest prep as a female, is dealing with your cycle / non-cycle and all of the PMS symptoms that still come and go, even if your period is not coming due to your low body fat. So I'm a little concerned that I might have all of the PMSy, watery, bloating symptoms right around the show, which is,
but it would be the week before, right?
No, it's it's due to come. I can like pull up my app. So it's due to come. Let's see. Sorry, everybody, if you're listening and not watching. 1 second here. So the show is on Saturday and it's supposed to come Friday.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that show then.
So that being said, so previously this week, I was telling Brooke I was 85% sure I was going to do it. Now I'm leaning more to like 50-50 because I don't necessarily want to take the risk because I'm going to be so pissed if I spend all of this money. We'll talk about this in another episode, but bodybuilding is a very expensive hobby. Drop a grip on a show and then I get my period that day or the day before, or I'm bloated because my body's trying to have a period. It just seems silly. So that being said, it's also very likely that instead I'll do a show at the end of May. That leaves me 6 weeks out, which is, one would hope I'm absolutely ready by then, with no period around then. And it's in the Atlanta area, so I would get to see Brooke. So that actually makes me really happy. So 50-50 might do that show. Let's start to wrap it up, though, because we're getting close to time here. So quick prep updates. I'm very close to show. Whether I compete in 2 weeks, whether I compete in a month, like I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. I just have my one problem spot. My cardio is high, my friends. It is high. I mean, I'm doing either 45 minutes or an hour and a half every day. I sort of like roll with the punches. I am juggling a corporate executive full-time job, 3 dogs, a husband, aging parents. I'm an auntie. There is a lot going on. So there's some times that I can't do my hour and a half of cardio a day. I just can't do it. So I always do 45 minutes a day. The past few weeks, many days a week, it's 2 45-minute sessions a day. And then in addition, I don't stop moving. I am walking on my treadmill when I'm working, like I work from home. I'm walking an hour or two a day. My steps are up to 25,000. And that's pretty much normal for me every single prep. Every single prep I've done, my steps at the end are between 22 and 30,000 a day. And that's normal for me. And like Brooke said, it's because I shoot myself in the foot. I live in a city. I don't drive. I walk everywhere. I have 3 dogs. So I started prep at 15,000 steps a day, which is normal for me. Like I just get that without even thinking. Like I don't even have to try to get 15,000 a day. And then really simple bodybuilding math is more or less, this is a real simplification here, but you probably agree with me. In bodybuilding contest prep, you more or less from start to finish of a prep, your calories are cut in half and your cardio is doubled from whatever you start with. Would you more or less like?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Real simplification. But so since my steps start at 15,000, it checks out that when I'm close to stage lean, I'm doing 25 to 30,000 steps a day. So like that's the reality of it. I have my walking pad behind me. Anyone that's on YouTube can see, and I work on that. And I just get a lot of steps in, and that's just kind of how it goes. My hunger's been manageable because I'm so busy. I'm so busy that I don't have time to be hungry. I do get pangs of hunger, but they come and go, and I'm just so busy that like I don't even really think about it. I am hungry though. Don't get me wrong. Just I'm not like sitting around, crying in the kitchen. I'm just busy and I keep moving. I'm the hungriest in the morning. I wake up like starving.
Me too. That's where I'm at.
I can't have that coffee fast enough. Like, well, you're doing fast cardio, so you even have to wait a little
Oh
bit.
my God, I know.
I don't do fasted cardio for a few reasons, which we can talk about on another episode. Everybody has like a different thing. It doesn't work for me. Not that it doesn't work for me. It's just like not my preferred methodology. But I eat pretty quickly in the morning. Like I get to it because I'm so hungry. But anyways, all right. I think this was 30 to 40 minutes, so perfect
Yeah.
cardio time. So we could start to wrap it up. We will check back in with each other. Well, we talk every single day anyway, but we'll have things to talk about next week, and we'll do some more prep. We'll do each a prep update with how we're doing, and the two of us will talk about a topic that we can go on. And make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast and give it some love. Let us know what you think and drop any questions or comments below, and we'll keep this up.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
Awesome.
have a great rest of the day, and I miss you. And
Oh, I
it
miss
looks
you too.
and it looks like I will probably, now that I'm thinking about it, looks like I probably will be doing that Atlanta show. So I'll probably see you in a month, but we'll see. We'll
Awesome. That
see.
would be great. I would love that. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, she's gonna have to hold on for 6 more weeks. Oh,
But time, Brooke, time is going by so fast.
yeah.
Like this year, prep or no prep, like I can't believe it's almost like May. So
Yeah.
even though it's still like 5-6 weeks away, like I think it's just going to go by so fast that, and then ideally I'm ready quite in advance and I can maybe fill into the show, which I think will really help my back shot. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
Okay, we're
All
going to
right.
sign off. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.